Hello and welcome to the ARCS. We're live here from Armory Digital Super Speedway for the running of the Starbucks 75. Well folks, after a twisty windy Watkins Glen race, we head out to our third Super Speedway race of the season. Who will lock themselves into the playoffs next? Only time will tell. But for now, let's take a look at the top 10 qualifiers in the field. Starting on pole, Maxwell Smart. In second, Beavis Cornholio. In third, Eli the Wolf. In fourth, Sarah Johnson. In fifth, Nicholas Cameron. In sixth, Matt Carter. In seventh, Isaac Jacobs. In eighth, Joshua Hammond. In ninth, Justin Vickers. Rounding out your top 10, Jack Burfine. Let's take a look at the rest of the drivers on the grid and get right on into the action here at Armory Digital. And we're live here at Armory Digital Super Speedway. Look at that skyline, folks, as the pace car dives down, and Maxwell Smart about to get the green here at the third Super Speedway race of the season. As you can see here, kind of like Talladega, the start-finish line is not at the center of the tri-oval as we enter the restart zone right now. That will play into the finish of this race, no doubt, as Maxwell Smart goes up through the gears here. And the green flag is out, and we are underway at Armory Digital here in Seattle. So far, the inside line with the best run out of turns 1 and 2. Everybody forming up here. It's about to get very dicey. We saw a lot of 3 and 4 wide in practice, maybe even 5 wide here. We never know, as this track has produced some very exciting racing. And we've only been here for one season, only had one race here. Back in Season 3, the season that did not get finished, but still, nonetheless, a good race as they started to go 3-4 wide here now, as Eli the Wolf's taking the point, but Isaac Jacobs to the inside, with Justin Vickers in tow there, as everyone there getting their fill of Super Speedway racing here as we come back. Who will lead the first lap as they come through the tri-oval? Looks like it's going to be Eli the Wolf there with about 3/4 of a car in front of Isaac Jacobs. But how about that Robbie Margot on the inside, making it 4 wide there for about the 5th spot there. As everybody wiggles around through that corner, a lot of these drivers having a hard time keeping the cars underneath them as we saw in practice. And everybody filing together. Oh my goodness, as the 4 wide here is getting very dangerous. Everyone bopping and weaving in the middle of this track. We could see a big accident here if it happens in the corner. Cars could go flying. And Blubber Plumber knows a little bit about flying through the air as he went flying through the air at Coca-Cola Super Speedway. But Justin Vickers and Isaac Jacobs there, top 2 cars, side by side as we see this massive pack come to the line. Who's going to lead it? I think it was Vickers, and it was. And the scoring pylon, if you see in the top right-hand corner of your screen, dead zeros across the board, so that was 1,000th of a second, most likely, that it was decided by or more. No wrecks so far. Pretty good, pretty clean for these guys. I might jinx it, but Kevin Xavier going to drop to the inside of Robbie Margot for the preferred lane. The bottom lane is the fastest way around here at Armory Digital. As 3 wide for the lead here. 2 rookies, 1 on the inside, 1 on the outside, and the experienced veteran of Margot on the middle side. As Valgoria drops to the inside. As we talk about these rookies here, the rookies have won every single race this season. There's not been a single veteran in this field that's been able to capture a checkered flag. And look at that, another close finish, or not close finish I should say, but a close lap there as Margot gets it, but again, not by much. Just proves how fast this track is and how fast things can change. As Valgoria there, as we mentioned, up here at the front. So is Joffrey Weeds. Joffrey Weeds is in good need of a good points day here, as Weeds not been doing great the last couple races. Watkins Glen had some issues. Another driver that's been having very good races but not been able to really capture the win, as we got a great alternate angle there, is Cassidy Reynolds getting help from Felix Benoit there on the bottom. Reynolds has been the bridesmaid almost every single time we talk about her. But maybe Cassidy Reynolds can eke one out into the win column and become the first veteran to get a win here in Season 4. As Reynolds looks to the inside there, makes it 3 wide for the lead in turns 1 and 2. As we are about 5 laps into this 29-lap race here in Seattle. Only our second ever appearance here in Seattle and the greater Washington state area. As everybody doing fairly well. I'm surprised we haven't seen an accident. I don't want to jinx it here, but there, how about that? The Starbucks car in last place. Hometown sponsor on that car of Starbucks. Maybe we can get them in the win column. You never know. Timothy Ashton would certainly hope so, as Ashton had a really rough points day at Watkins Glen. Was up inside the top 2 or 3 in points, and Timothy Ashton really has taken a fall from grace. He's now on the 4th or 5th spot in points, but Benoit with the lead right now. How about Seville? A Seville up front, and that is the 47 car of Tyler Seville. Tyler and Andy Seville qualified last and second to last in this race, so it's good to see them up at the front here. And Tyler Seville, speaking of the Sevilles, has a win in a plate chart. Oh my gosh, and Justin Vickers. What happened to Justin Vickers? He's off the pace. No caution. Green flag still out, I believe. I believe he expired. So Vickers, who was doing really well in the points, just faltered. Just like that. No wreck. He just, well, maybe a wreck here as we see some thinning of the field here. We'll have to get a replay maybe later, but yeah, that car just expired. So these guys, these poor drivers back here, are kind of stuck back here. They don't have any drafting help, and so is Timothy Ashton. What happened to Ashton? But the field charges on nonetheless as Bussey Jr. in the middle there of a sandwich. A Klondike bar sandwich kind of there. As we got 3 cars there. Deacon Gentleman pushing Xavier. But how about that 23 car of Daytona Ash? Charging on the inside with help from Blubber Plumber. And that 1 car as well. As we see 4 wide here. We've seen some 4 wide, but when we get 5 wide, oh boy, it gets very dicey. As Daytona Ash sneaking up through this field. We haven't talked about Daytona Ash much this season, as Ash leads the lap. And Eli the Wolf on that bottom's been able to sneak back up toward the front here. Oh, as McElwam's in the wall. Oh, McElwam holding up Felix Benoit. These guys back here trying to stay in the draft train of this front pack, but more have fallen off here. So these guys are on the struggle bus here today. But speaking of these drivers in different packs, it's not over for them yet, because we will likely see at least 1 green flag stop, maybe 2, depending on if a caution comes here. Obviously, if we have 3 different packs, as poor Timothy Ashton back there and Justin Vickers is probably out of it here, as he's gone multiple laps down. But Michael Redinger here in the lead. As he crosses the line, we'll take a look at the fastest lap of the day. The Starbucks fastest lap goes to John Ross Stein. How about that with a 48.17? A blistering lap, as we're averaging about 188 miles an hour in the corner, and these drivers, I'm surprised they've been able to hang on for as long as they have and not wreck. But a very small pack up here at the front, probably about 20 cars in this front pack, and these back 2 packs are probably about 10 cars each, 10 to 15 cars each. As how about that Tony Jansen up here in the Sunoco car? Haven't talked much about Jansen this season. He's had some rough races, had an okay Watkins Glen. He's definitely been on the struggle bus this season, but he is looking for a good day, and he might just have it here today. As Tony Jansen going to look to the inside here, as Nicholas Cameron as well going to try to make it 3 wide. And how about that Draven Sandy on the bottom? Haven't talked about Sandy at all today. Making headway on the bottom. He's going to look to the inside of that 41 Nicholas Cameron Polaroid machine. Cameron got a win at Daytona earlier this season. He's trying to put that super speedway prowess to the test here, as we had another good angle here as they come through the bridge area and that beautiful skyline here at Armory Digital, as Woldthane on the inside giving some help to the O2 of Sandy in that classic Marlboro car. As everyone 3 wide, that is the standard, that is the gold standard here at Armory Digital. 3 wide and a little bit of 4 wide, and if we get a little crazy, we'll go 5 wide here. As McElwam, after smacking the wall pretty much, back up to 2nd place, making a good recovery here. She dives to the inside, going to steal that lead away. 2 Toyotas up at the front, but a Chevy on the inside of Theophilus Morgendorfer Jr. looking to challenge on the bottom with Margot as well in that Skittles car. As we see the pace car there, no cautions yet in this one. Kind of surprising. But everybody hanging on quite nicely here. But we'll, like we said earlier, probably going to see some pit stops here in this one. And speaking of pit stops, we'll take a look and see if Justin Vickers is still on pit road. And maybe he's still on pit road. No, he's not on pit road. So maybe he's gone to the garage, or maybe he's back out on track. Looks like he's going to be retired if you look at the top right-hand corner with a clutch issue here at Armory Digital. So that's a bad day gone worse there for that car. Man, that's going to hurt in the points for him. But what won't hurt in the points is definitely these guys up here who have been able to break away from the other packs. They're guaranteed probably a top 15 or 20 day. As everybody cycles around here at Armory Digital. Robbie Margot going to take the inside here over Theophilus Morgendorfer. It's going to open the door for that 96 car on the bottom to try to steal third. So how about that? 3 wide for second and maybe 4 wide here as McElwain tries to make it interesting. Oh my goodness, the 4 wide has started. Oh, we might wreck here at Armory Digital. They are so close to each other, and we're getting to about that halfway point here in the race. So business is starting to pick up here in Seattle. This track is a pretty interesting one, as it's about 2.6 miles around. 4 corners here, 33 in the corners for the banking, and in the straights, about 10 degrees of banking. About 100,000 people can pack into this grand stadium here in the greater Seattle area. And it took a whopping $7.6 billion to put this place together. But I'm glad we're racing here today. And this is like I said earlier, the second time we've been here, but we'll probably be here many more times. Just another great addition to our schedule here in the ARCS. But how about Kevin Xavier? He's been up at the front many different times, and he has just been lights out here. And Sandy looking to challenge on the inside, but don't look now. The driver with the most super speedway wins on the active roster, Deacon Gentleman on the inside. Draven Sandy leading this one. Oh, as it looks like we've got pitters here, as the 19's on the inside apron, and so are many others. So we have pit stops here at Armory Digital. So there's Hammond as well, or Crispy Bacon, I should say. He's going to pit, and look at how fast they go on pit lane, folks. They're flying down the pit lane as everybody cycles in, as we have this beautiful garage area here at Armory Digital. That's what $7.6 billion can do for you, folks. Almost looks F1-esque here in Seattle, as there's Eli the... Oh, and they make contact on pit road. The Wolf hits the back end, I believe, of Carter there. Got some damage. That's not going to help that car in the draft. As Gentleman comes off pit road, and will he lead them off? Maybe. I think so. As we see John Ross Stein back there. Poor John Ross Stein in that backpack there. But maybe he can catch up as Sandy, the leader, pits. Oh my goodness, as Seville, he hopped off the banking there. That was a big change in elevation there for that car as he goes top to bottom off into the banking. And he slides onto pit road as we see a lot of single file here. And this is the view coming off pit lane here. A very interesting exit as they come off. So we'll see who gets the lead in this pit cycle. Cameron coming down as he slides into his box. So is Margot. There's Johnson right there as Johnson slides in. Ooh, makes a little contact as you hear a little scrape there. As Sandy, whoa, he flying off the pit road there. And he will go into the little circular protected zone off the pit road. It's just a very unique structure on the pit road. I'd love to know what the banking is there, but a really cool view from our drone camera here as he comes off and onto the racing surface, and he will merge back to where everyone else is, as we'll see where everyone else is here at this racetrack. 17 to 29 complete as everyone filing down now. McElwain coming into pit, so there is Morgendorfer Jr. as all the brave pit men and women waving those signs, telling their drivers to come down, as Blubber Plumber, ooh, makes a little contact with McElwain there. As Macawam jumps off the pit road. And there they go. Everybody dropping in either to their stall or off the pit road. Just an interesting area on this track, that pit road is. But we'll try and find who the leader is right now. Currently, the scoreboard says it's Kevin Xavier, but we'll have to see if he cycles back out to the lead. Definitely an interesting turn of events here in Armory Digital. As Bussy Jr. on pit road. There's Xavier. So Xavier and Bussy Jr. holding out hopes that they would get the win here, but they ran very long on that cycle. So that will likely leave Bob Verstappen as the leader here at Armory Digital. Sandy could be could cycle out to second. So there could be the battle for 1 and 2 right now, as everybody else forming up here at Armory Digital. But there's last week's winner in that 96 car, Butthead Boothroyd at Watkins Glen. As there goes Verstappen around. We'll see if they're able to jump in front of him off the pit road here. I don't think they will, as they come through 1 and 2. There's Xavier. So he's coming off here. Goes up on top of the double file blue line, not the double file yellow. As you can see that pack back there, they are forming up here at Armory Digital. This could be the pack that wins the race. So we have a bunch of single file cars up here, as Xavier's about to get swallowed up by Sandy. So Sandy got by Verstappen and Xavier there. As, oh, a little nudge there from Verstappen to the 10 car of Xavier. He says, hey, buddy, get up to speed. We got these cars hard charging there. As this is going to be interesting here. Will these cars have enough time and enough power to catch these guys? Only time will tell. 10 laps to go here at Armory Digital. Strategy playing into the race quite heavily, as there is the Starbucks car. I believe that is the last place car, the Starbucks car. So that might play into this as well. But Xavier, now that he's up to speed, he's challenging Sandy here, and Bob Verstappen's going to give help. So we see that second pack back there. And maybe 3 wide for the lead here. No, Bob Verstappen thinks better of it. He's going to push 2 rookies on the inside there of Verstappen and Xavier. The rookie's been this year so good. Maybe we get another rookie winner here. But the veterans, if they have anything to say about it, they will try and get one here at Armory Digital. So as they cross the line, 9 laps to go. We'll take a look at the Starbucks fastest lap of the race. Still John Ross Stein with a 48.17. And John Ross Stein has that fastest lap, but he's not having a good day, as he's back here with François Wolde, Michael Redinger, and Benoit. They are really kind of off the pace there. They got stuck back there early, but this 3-car battle for the lead has been the most interesting thing on the track. But it will get pretty interesting here, as these cars will probably get swallowed up by this pack here. That is hard charging. And this pack is about 1.4 seconds off of the 3 cars up front. Oh yeah, they are definitely charging. Let's see the delta at the line as we go through the tri-oval here with only a handful of laps to go. Xavier's going to lead the lap, but 0.4 was the last time by, oh yeah, about a half a second, roughly, that lap. So it'll only be about 2.5 laps by the time these guys catch him. And oh, by the way, Timothy Ashton, he's in front of all these guys, so he could play into the finish of this race. So many moving pieces here, as these 3 cars smartly go single file there to try and make as much time as they can, but 3 cars is not as good as about 10 cars here, folks. It'll be interesting if these cars get together and possibly wreck here. That would change the game, as everyone would get brought back together here. As Draven Sandy, oh, he's getting greedy. Draven Sandy, his last win came at Auto Club Speedway many seasons ago, I believe in Season 2. It's his only win to date here in the Adrenaline Racing Cup Series, and Draven Sandy needs a good points day as he's on the cut line here. He's below the cut line, I should say, to Andy Seville. So I believe Andy Seville's having, oh no, Andy Seville's in this top pack. So the bubble battle has come to fruition here at Armory Digital, and speaking of, the pack has attacked here at Armory Digital as well, as all these cars have come together, not as the Beatles say, but they've come together here at Armory Digital, and it's going to get dicey. So now that everyone's together, 3 wide has come back in fashion here at Armory Digital. As Sandy's going to lead the lap here, looks like he does. Only about 7 laps to go. Nicholas Cameron, the rookie, on the inside. He's going to take a bite at the lead here. Will he get help from that 2 car on the inside of Carter? Carter had a really good Watkins Glen race. He was able to lead a lot of laps, but ultimately fell just short. Oh, it's Theophilus going to take it 4 wide. He's going to shove it to the inside of Seville. But will Seville close the door? Oh, no, he doesn't. 4 wide here at Armory Digital. That's where the danger zone is, when you get 4 wide. Oh, boy, and they're leaning on each other, Weeds and Seville. But Cameron, he won at Daytona this season, the first race. Will he get another plate win to his resume and join Deacon Gentleman as a plate great here in the ARCS? But Carter, he's going to drop to that inside. Had a good Watkins Glen race like I just mentioned. Will he be able to capitalize on some good track position here? And speaking of another driver that's wanted to play track, Seville is up here as well. So the plate drivers are rising to the top here. And I don't think we're going to pit again, so this likely is the pack, depending on a caution, that will fight for the win. So if your driver's up here, this is probably the best place to be. You've got the catbird seat of these drivers. As you see those drivers back there trying to get back to the front, we have Tony Jansen, Bussy Jr., and Cassie Reynolds just trying to make anything work. So we've got 5 laps to go. Oh, there goes Margot to the inside. She makes it 3 wide for the lead. Velgoria as well, another rookie on the inside. We've talked a little bit about Velgoria this season, not much. Gentleman on that inside, I should say, giving some help. But surprisingly, no cautions at all this race. We thought coming in there'd be at least 1 big wreck. But again, we still have 4 laps. And if you remember back to our Season 1 final race at Daytona, we had a wreck on the last lap, so we're never safe at super speedways here in the ARCS. Striker leads on the inside here. As they come back to the line, Velgoria is going to lead the lap. Gentleman biding his time on the inside. He is just, he's very experienced. He knows when to make a move and when not to, and he's going to push that 19 till he feels like he needs to pass, and he will. As everybody, oh man, they're starting to thin out at the front here. Not as much 3 wide, a little less of the 3 wide action that we saw earlier, but now 2 wide. We might see more as Seville, another Seville, that being Andy Seville on the inside, going to make a move. As we're coming up on about 3-ish laps to go. We have a lot of storylines in this front pack. Guys who are on the bubble, guys who haven't won, and guys who are plate masters here. Who will get it done? As we have 3 laps to go. Oh, the 4 wide is still present here. As McElwain and Weeds lean on each other just a little bit. You'd think it was Darlington or a short track, but no, we're at Armory Digital. My goodness, as how about that? The 96 trying to make it 2 in a row. We've only had one other driver win 2 races in a row. That was Ricky Quinn at Dover and Phoenix back to back. And I believe season 2, if I stand corrected. But Bob Verstappen going to take that lead to the inside. And how about Wyatt Wilkinson? Have not said Wyatt Wilkinson's name at all today. And when it matters, Wilkinson's up in front, I should say. As Xavier on the bottom as well. That second pack has kind of formed up just a little bit, but it's been a little too late for those guys, as they're just going to ride it out. 3 wide for the lead, almost 4 wide, as, whoa, Seville nearly touches the wall up top. And we could still see pandemonium in this top pack. It's never over till it's over. As Xavier on the inside with help from Ash and Theophilus. Don't count out those guys on the bottom. And that lap car up there of Timothy Ashton. Hard day for Ashton, but might get lapped by these guys, we're not sure. Coming to the white flag here at Armory Digital. Bob Verstappen's going to lead us in that 33 car. But will he lead us back to the checkered flag? We'll have to wait and see. Oh, as the 96 makes it 3 wide to the outside, the 24 of Theophilus to the inside. Theophilus trying to get the win here at Armory Digital. Theophilus only has 1 win to his credit at Rockingham Speedway. We'll see if he can pull it off here today. But how about Tyler Seville on the bottom? Oh, there goes Sandy. Sandy jumps in front of Tyler Seville on the bottom. Who is it going to be off the final set of corners? Sandy charging hard. He's only got 1 win to his credit at Auto Club, but will Seville make it interesting? Verstappen versus Sandy. Who's it going to be to the line? Bob Verstappen. He could become the all-time winningest driver and join the 3-time club here in the Adrenaline Racing Cup Series. Is he going to do it? Verstappen! He's going to do it here at Armory Digital. He joins the 3-time club in the ARCS, and he joins the top of the heap in the Adrenaline Racing Cup Series. Congratulations to Bob Verstappen here at Armory Digital. Welcome back here to Armory Digital Super Speedway, and that was an interesting race, folks, as Bob Verstappen holds him off at the end to get the win. Draven Sandy finishes 2nd place, but that'll be a very good points day for Draven Sandy as he was on the bubble coming in. In 3rd, Wyatt Wilkinson with a really quiet but really good points day. In 4th, Kevin Xavier was up at the front quite a bit. In 5th, Theophilus Morgendorfer Jr. In 6th, Tyler Seville. In 7th, Butthead Boothroyd. In 8th, Anna McElwain. In 9th, Daytona Ash, and rounding out your top 10, Matt Carter. Let's take a look at the rest of the field, and these guys did a really good job today finishing, but Justin Vickers, oh man, that's not good in the points for him as he finishes dead last with a clutch issue, I should say. But that's all, folks, here from Armory Digital, and next week we will see you at Rockingham Speedway. The historic Rock is back here in the ARCS, so hope to see you there, folks.